Hi guys, it's Bella here. As you can probably tell, today we are playing with terrain tools. I'm gonna be doing just a little build whilst figuring out how the new update works. So I've had this image of this kind of a cliffside house in my mind for a while now. Might even be that I've built something like this before. I feel like if I have a game that has terrain manipulation, this is like the first thing that comes to my mind. And it's relatively small, so I felt like it was a good place to start because I'm not used to the controls of the terrain tools and I didn't want this video to be too long. Obviously, it takes me a while messing up with the terrain, and especially towards the end, it's hard for me to stop using the terrain tools. I just want to perfect every little bit. And also I was checking here the shortcuts, but turns out that the shortcuts mentioned in the lessons aren't actually the ones I'm using or that I can use, because my keyboard is different from that. So I'm still not sure what all the shortcuts are, but I managed to do it manually and I got everything down that I needed. But yeah, I'm not sure what the lift up or down the terrain flattening tool shortcut is. It is not the bracket keys because I have a different keyboard, so I guess I'll just wait until someone else figures that out. But anyway, this is our build and it is in 2 floors and the staircase is outside, so it's a little interesting. It's definitely not the most realistic home. And also the downstairs where the kitchen area will be is open to the outside, because I wanted this effect of sliding doors or these openable doors that would be open to the porch. So I used these wall pieces here, and you might want to note that if you want to play here, because it's not considered inside space. So especially if you have seasons that might be problematic, I'm probably going to play in this house at least a bit in my own time. So maybe if I play until winter comes in the game, I might just close it off and replace the windows with a door. But yeah, that's the general silhouette down that I had in mind, and then I just started furnishing to see that everything fit in, and I had the general idea of the interior as well. And I knew I wanted the kitchen here, but I'm not sure if I like it in the end, and I do extend this downstairs area a bit more even, because I just wanted to fit a full-sized bathroom behind the kitchen there. And you can't see it, even though it cuts to the terrain, but because we have the porch or the balcony kind of thing in the second floor, you can't see it. You can't build walls intersecting terrain on ground level or anything like that. But with this porch on the second floor, it kind of looks nice. It looks a lot like I planned from the outside anyway. For the interior, I didn't have as much of a plan, and some rooms I really like, but some are just for example, the bedroom, it's just a bedroom. I don't really like it too much, but it's a very simple bedroom and it's not especially modern or anything like that. So even though the exterior is very modern and very interesting, the furnishings are quite turned down, very normal. It looks like a very normal home from the inside, I think. And yeah, here I figured out some of the shortcuts for the terrain tools and I keep messing up with them. It took a while to get adjusted to using them and to always get the cursor in this right point. And I need to go back and flatten the the upper area of this little hill like at least 5 times because I kept changing the terrain, and every time I thought I was done with the terrain, I smoothed out or like flattened the terrain up there, so that in the end I do put up some furniture in there, so there's a little outdoor space on the hill here. And yeah, so just extending the roof here, and I was planning to maybe like bring the roof all the way out so that you would never be like totally exposed if you're going upstairs from the stairs. I do bring it out a little, but not all the way. It just didn't look nice. So yeah, you might be affected with weather living in this house, but you know, it's a nice build. It's for the purposes of a speed build, even though I did play in it just a little bit just to check out like what the positivity challenge is all about and stuff like that. I actually do use one of those positivity challenge posters that you can unlock by doing the challenge in this build, because like if you're in build mode, everything is automatically unlocked, and I was just very drawn to the new items. I think that's very normal, like even in CAS, like I went to CAS and I wanted to use specifically the new items. And yeah, for this build too, the sole purpose of this build was to try out the new features, and that's what we are doing. My only like, well, it's not a real complaint, but like my only personal complaint with the terrain tools is that I never liked landscaping really, and now it's even harder and there's like even more surfaces to cover with plants, and they don't like always go where you want to. I do some landscaping, but I definitely got a little bit bored with it. Like I start here and I come back later, but like at the end I was like, okay, this is enough of foliage. It doesn't need to be like totally overgrown. So yeah, definitely some people are definitely more into landscaping and this might be good for them, but personally for me, I was just like, even on a small lot like this, I was kind of dreading the landscaping, and it ends up being very very simple and not too great. Like it works, but it's not like a landscaping miracle. But now I am inside again. It was a bit hard to figure out the layout of the upstairs, but I think it turns out really good in the end. Like it works and it's quite like realistic, I think. So this is the master bathroom, the ensuite, and then the bedroom is of course next to it. It's very simple, but it's quite luxurious. Like whenever I used some like colors, it was this like golden or bronze tone, and it's quite nice. And then in the bedroom here, I did put the new mirror in the corner there. It's a wall mirror, but I actually like cheated it in the way that it looks like it's a standing mirror. I hope that looks fine, and I hope that the Sims can still get to the other side of the bed as well, but I think they can. But yeah, I wasn't really feeling this bedroom. It's very brown and it's very basic, but I just wasn't feeling it as much as other spaces in the build. So it turns out fine, but it's not like my pride. So yeah, and for the living room here, it's a relatively small space and kind of this weird shape. So I decided to put the television here on the wall behind one of the couches. So I'm just like imagining like if you watch TV, sit on the couch opposite to the TV, and then if you're like if it's more like a lounge, more like a formal, you're chatting with friends kind of situation, then you can use both of those little sofas. So yeah, because that's really the feel I wanted to like, because you can see into the living room when you're outside, because those windows there are quite big and you can see inside. So I wanted look like this and to be symmetrical in some way. Yeah, I was experimenting a bit, but I did want both of the sofas in. And yeah, for decoration, I was kind of feeling lazy all over the place with like clutter and landscaping and all that kind of like not too important stuff. So I'm kind of like skipping some parts. Like, for example, in the bedroom, there's this big shelf on top of the bed, and normally I would clutter that and put some things up there, but like I said, I was just not feeling it. I was just kind of rushed to finish this build because I really wanted to share it with you guys, and yeah, but I did want to make it like look nice, so there's some nice things. Then I do put in this like brick color as a second like accent wall feature. So there's the wood is like a feature inside, but then I wanted another one, and yeah, I hope it's not too much. I do end up even putting in a third one. I used that vintage glamour stuff wallpaper with like those glowy things in black. But yeah, so I hope that's fine. And there I just cluttered this end table in this hallway, and I put in some shoes and umbrella rack, and I playtested it so the Sims can get through that door and pass those items, because they do enter from the sliding door from the side that is emptier. Yeah, I'm deciding not to say left or right because I keep turning the camera. In some of my recent builds, I kept saying like right, and then when I was even like 2 seconds late, it would be the wrong direction. But yeah, so I hope you get what I mean. I think like this house is pretty small. You can pretty much see everything we do on the video, and there are some screenshots in the end, but I didn't screenshot like everything again because it's you can pretty well see everything that is going on the video. And yeah, then we are back to the downstairs, this kitchen area. I really like the layout, and I like how simple it is. Like, my only wish was that those doors were functional and you could actually close the space off. And I did put laundry in the little nook here in the bottom floor, so I also added in a hamper. So yeah, that's easy, that's very easy to delete. And then this room here is a bathroom with this jacuzzi. Upstairs there's only a shower, and I thought like this was still quite a luxurious build. Like, even if it's small, you can tell that it's quite luxurious and quite modern. So I thought that this like very elaborate bathroom suited it quite well, and I did put in these windows. You can basically only see the cliff, but it does give in some light, and I thought that was a nice feature. Like, there aren't many ways that you can have huge windows in your bathroom and like no one will see in. Have you already built with terrain tools? If you're a builder, I would like to see your videos and like hear your thoughts. So I'm definitely like, I keep refreshing YouTube just to see any new videos that any of you guys put out. But if you have any thoughts on the terrain tools, or like how easy they are to use, or something like that, please let me know. I'm still not sure. Like, I love that they are in the game, but I don't think they are always as easy to use as I would want to. But then again, it might just be that I'm not used to them yet, and I might get better at it. Definitely, like, I know we will all be doing like these crazy terrain manipulation builds for a few months, and then I guess it will slow down and we will partly go back to like simple just very normal houses. But I love that it's in the game. I love the like possibilities it gives you, and yeah, if I don't want to landscape the terrain, I don't have to. I'll just build a flat lot. But here I am putting all of the bushes in, and sometimes it was weird to. It was hard to see like whether the plants were floating or not. But fortunately, like I figured that once you have put the plants down, you can raise the terrain under it and you can like fix the gaps in that way. So yeah, I went in again with the terrain, but soon I will be putting some more plants on the top of the hill, and they ended up all floating, but I fixed it by lifting the terrain in very strategic places so that you can't see that they are floating. We are pretty much done here. Just putting in a fence that doesn't really keep anyone out, but you know, it's for the looks. The gate is nice and gives you this kind of an entrance. But yeah, let me know what you think of the terrain tools. I would love to hear, and tell me also what you think of this build. Did I succeed in what I imagined? I think I did pretty well, like considering there are still limitations with the tools. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye!